Hi, everyone. I'm Santa Clara Mayor Lisa Gilmore. Thanks for joining the Mayor at Noon series on Facebook Live, where you'll hear how the city is responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, and viewers will have an opportunity to ask questions during today's show. Lieutenant Gina Noble from the Salvation Army is joining me today as my special guest to talk about how the Salvation Army has responded locally to the pandemic. The Salvation Army is a Christian church and an international charitable organization with a worldwide membership of more than 1.7 million people. The Salvation Army began in London, England in 1865, and its founders sought to bring salvation to the poor, destitute, and hungry by meeting both their physical and spiritual needs. It currently operates in 132 countries. In the United States, the Salvation Army is best known for its charitable efforts. This non-governmental relief agency is usually among the first to arrive with help in a disaster and is one of the nation's major emergency relief organizations. The Salvation Army moved to Silicon Valley in 1884, and we are so fortunate to have them in Santa Clara at 3090 Homestead Road. I was fortunate to meet Lieutenant Noble during the early part of the pandemic when her team was distributing large boxes of really nutritious food to our seniors at the John Burns apartment complex in Santa Clara. I found her to be a fascinating individual, as you will soon see, and I want to give you a little bit of her background before we go into our discussion. Lieutenant Noble is the Associate Corps Officer of the Salvation Army Silicon Valley Santa Clara Citadel, where she works alongside her husband, Lieutenant Chris Noble. They were business professionals, and after Gina joined the Salvation Army 7 years ago by working at the residential camp and conference center in Scotts Valley, they made the decision to go, quote unquote, all in, and devote their lives to doing the most good for others. They sold their home and their cars and gave away all of their stuff to go into full-time ministry and service to God and people. They were commissioned to Santa Clara a year and a half ago after 2 years of training. And according to Lieutenant Noble, their mission here in the Mission City is simple: do whatever it takes to help people find hope. We are the link to giving and receiving, and we look forward to supporting those who are asking for help for the first time. We are here, and we can help, and we love what we get to do. I am so pleased to introduce Lieutenant Gina Noble to our Mayor at Noon audience today. Welcome, Lieutenant Noble.
Thank you, Mayor. It's good to be here.
It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much. So, Lieutenant Noble, tell me about how you ended up serving here in Santa Clara after all the places you have trained, like Spokane and Albuquerque and Compton, and provided service. And what is your assessment of our needs here in the Santa Clara community for services?
Well, in June of 2017, my husband and I were commissioned and ordained as Salvation Army officers, and then we could have been appointed to anywhere in the 13 Western United States, but we were sent right back here to serve in Santa Clara, just 25 miles from our home in Boulder Creek. I am a native San Franciscan, so to get to come back after being trained in emergency disaster services and many other areas and get to serve right here at home is wonderful.
Great choice, Santa Clara.
Yes, great choice. After arriving here and seeing all of the parks and all the amazing things that the city does for the people here, we began to assess the needs. And wow, we were actually sent down to the county coordination in San Jose when the pandemic started in March to oversee the county food distribution. We gained great experience there, and in October, we were sent back to Santa Clara to figure out what it is here that the people need most. And right away we said, this is struggling families, this is jobs furloughed from, this is rent to pay, children to school at home now, and food is just one of the physical ways that we can come alongside families in this time and help give them hope. We also see the need of seniors in our community, those who for safety need to be at home, and yet we want to connect with them and safety, of course, but make sure that their needs are being met as well. So those are kind of the two areas right now that we are seeing the need.
So talk about seniors. Early in the pandemic, our city manager's office was very excited that the Salvation Army and you had offered food distribution and delivery for some of our vulnerable seniors who were sheltering in place. So I remember several times Councilmember Watanabe and O'Neill and I accompanied you along with our Firefighters Foundation to deliver these really tremendous boxes of food. So is that how our food distribution partnership started?
It really is. We have a wonderful partnership with Second Harvest of Silicon Valley. We had the resource of the food. Initially, we reached out for a local elementary school, Scott Lane, and they referred us to the school district's meals program, and they actually linked us up with the city. And next thing you know, in a matter of a few hours, we had the opportunity to give this amazing food to those in need here in Santa Clara, the seniors.
I was surprised when I saw the quality of the food, and I guess I didn't know what to expect, but to see the quality of food and the quantity of the food that we delivered to the senior complexes, you know, the fresh food with the other food was pretty amazing, the quality of it.
It is, and that is Second Harvest Silicon Valley.
Healthy
Yes.
choices, right?
Healthy choices, absolutely.
Right. So let's talk about people coming to pick up food, and possibly for the first time, because I know when we were distributing food through the city for the school children and their families on the weekends, and we see the seniors on the weekends, there's people in line for the first time that have never had, you know, to pick up food, but because of the circumstances, you know, they've had to do it. And it's not an easy or comfortable situation. It's not a comfortable thing to do. So what do you do at the Salvation Army to make people feel comfortable to pick up these essential meals? Because I believe there's going to be more and more people that are picking up, especially for the first time. What do you do to make people feel comfortable?
We treat them like family. Ask and it will be given. It is difficult to say that you need help. So everyone is received with just great respect and dignity, and usually the conversation will start out, "I'm so sorry, I have to ask." And we say, no, that's exactly what we're here for. We are glad to help. We are honored to be a part of the great giving of resources in this community and linking up what is given to those who need it most. The process of applying is actually pretty simple. We understand that it's not just food that is helping people. It is knowing that they're cared for. It is knowing that they're not alone in this. That the food can mean perhaps a Christmas gift for a child. That income can be used for that. Or perhaps rent. The food is just one way that we're coming alongside to support those young families in extreme need right now. So you're seeing something about some Christmas gifts and some kettles. There's a lot.
I saw those angel
Yes, angel
trees, right?
Yes, that is new unwrapped toys for children. And really how this all happens is the iconic red kettle.
Right, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. So you talk about what kind of success have we had, because we've partnered with you, the City of Santa Clara has, in our Food for Families distribution, and I believe it's every Wednesday?
Yes, every Wednesday at the 3090 Homestead Road address. It's from 2 to 3:30. It's a pre-registration process. So far, we have served 334 households, representing almost 1,100 individuals. And the amazing thing about this is we have done so in 4.5 hours. This truly is a wonderful collaboration. Second Harvest Silicon Valley delivers the food. The city staff, and they are responsible for the safe getting of the food into the trunks of all the cars. We oversee the intake.
We have a lot of experience here in the city now putting the food safely in the trunks from our other distributions.
Yes, it is
Yes.
so well done. And it's putting together what we do best. You know, there are great resources in the community. The need is growing greater, but when we all come together and do what we can do best, which is exactly what is happening for Food for Families on Wednesdays, then it meets the greatest need in the community.
Well,
it's really amazing.
And we're so fortunate to have your location right there on Homestead. And for people that don't know, it's between Kiley and Pomeroy on Homestead Road. But you have such a great facility there. It's really designed for the in and out distribution of food in a quick and safe way. What do you have to do to sign up? Where do people go to sign up?
You can come by our facility Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. We actually have the one-page quick intake form there. You can fill it out and just place it in the box, and I'll follow up with you. It actually comes right to me, so it's email or a phone call.
So the buck stops right here, right? With you.
Well,
kind of.
Food for Families.
Right.
You know, if you have need, we want to help.
You
That's
don't
what
turn
we're here
people
for.
away, do you?
No.
People
No.
that are hungry, that need the food, you
Yeah, if you
provide.
need help, ask. It will be given.
Right.
You also can apply online if you just go to santaclaraca.gov. If you type in food, the program comes up, the application comes up, you can download it, you email it to me. I'm pretty good about responding the same day, but you will absolutely get a response. And then we just give you a food card. It has your name on it. And the first time you come through, you have to roll down your window a little bit so we can give you that card. But all the future times that you come through, you just put your card in the window.
Just show it in the window?
Yep, we
Okay.
welcome you in. You drive around the queue. They safely load all of the food into your trunk. And it is a lot of food. So make sure that your trunk is empty because we are going to fill it up with good, nutritious food. These boxes are meant to feed a family of 4 for a week.
For a week?
Yes, it is a lot of food, and it's good food. Protein, chicken, turkey, frozen. It's your dairy products like your milk, your eggs, your cheese. It's produce being the fruits, the vegetables, and then there's a dry goods box too that has some of your staple grains in it as well. And Second Harvest is awesome, and the food is awesome, and the way we're all coming together it's amazing what we are doing. And we can handle twice as many as we are serving right now. So if you are thinking, oh, I haven't, maybe, just go for it. Come and see us. Allow us to help you. We really have all of the resources in place to serve twice as many people as we are right now.
I know you probably don't want this, you want people to pre-register, but can they just drive up and?
Of course.
And
Yes.
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 So you
Just
accommodate
drive in, we'll take care
anyone.
of you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're very flexible, and what is the goal here? The goal is food for families. So we're going to do whatever that takes to make it happen for Santa Clara residents and those with children in Santa Clara schools.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
doing that. So I know the Salvation Army has so many other services you provide, but what else do you provide for Santa Clara residents?
Yeah, actually, we're part of the Emergency Assistance Network, the EAN, that is county-wide. And so we have our county family services and administration. They have a variety of different support that they are giving to families. I don't know if you know that we have an adult recovery center that's a 6-month residential treatment program for men. It is also where all of the donations that are given, and I'm talking about donations of like household goods. You go to 702 West Taylor Street. They're open every single day from 10 to 6, and you can donate lightly used household items. The resources of those are then go to help pay for that program and Bridgeway transitional housing that is next door.
Is that in San Jose?
Yeah,
The
that is in
housing,
San Jose.
The programs? Okay.
It is. Mainly here in Santa Clara, we are focused on the families, we are focused on seniors. So we have our Food for Families distribution. We have something called the At-Homers. We serve about 50 senior households right now, and we serve them kind of uniquely. It's note cards and wishes for holidays, but we receive donations of things like flowers and chocolates and baked
You were
goods.
talking about See's Candy earlier.
Wonderful
About donations and
community
flowers
partner.
from Trader Joe's and other
Yeah,
people.
we try to just be really good stewards of whatever is given in the community. We're in this beautiful place in the middle where there is great giving, and we are linked up to the people in need. So we get to give and they get to receive. It's really wonderful.
So if we have organizations or businesses that want to donate, goods, services, they can contact you directly, and then you will
Yeah.
distribute it through the community.
Yes, we'd love to work with them. So thank you for that consideration.
What about the unhoused?
Yeah, the unhoused. That is definitely seeing an increase here in all of Silicon Valley, all of California.
Right.
The Salvation Army has a huge program called The Way Out that is nationwide. But here specifically in Santa Clara, we always have with us unhoused resources. So that's bags of food that's real convenience. You don't need to cook it. We have hygiene kits. I just received today a donation of all brand new wool, really thick, good blankets. So that ministry, that service is ongoing. We love the unhoused and we want to take care of them. They're part of our community. I think I told you one time, just because you don't have a house doesn't mean you're not at home.
Right.
This is home to many. We have a teen special project. They're linked up to seniors in the community, and they go out and do work projects. That's pretty cool.
We have a lot of teens that are looking for volunteer opportunities now, and probably as the pandemic starts to, wind down a bit when the vaccine starts to kick in.
Yeah.
Is that an opportunity through Salvation Army for teenagers here, high schoolers?
It is. We're actually linked up to the high schools here.
Okay.
And so those in the counseling departments, because 20 hours of community service is
Yes,
a graduation
I know.
requirement.
We all know that, right?
So we've had many teens come to us and serve, and we are authorized to sign off and help them meet that requirement.
Okay.
So yeah, I was actually going to talk about volunteers in a bit, because you can literally go to Salvation Army, type it in, volunteers. You put in a Santa Clara zip code, and it will come up with the current volunteer opportunities right here in Santa Clara.
That's a good resource for us, because there's so many people, especially young people, that want to volunteer and they're not sure where to go
Yes.
and how to do that. So I'm glad you're talking about that today. So I want to ask you, because I went to the opening or the kickoff of the Independence from Hunger Drive, and it was sponsored by the grocery outlet right there on Lawrence Expressway and Homestead, very close to your facility. Councilmember O'Neill and I were there when you kicked off the campaign with the store managers. They were incredible people.
They are.
What happened? Was that a success? Was there money raised?
Amazing success here in Santa Clara. Grocery Outlet gave over $25,000 in funds and also grocery goods to the Salvation Army Santa Clara. So this is really cool, because the giving is going right there in the store, and that's Mike and Joni Williams. They are owner-operators.
Incredible people.
And wonderful
Very incredibly
partners
generous.
for many, many years. In fact, the grocery goods that are donated are what make up the unhoused bags that we give out in the community. So it was phenomenally successful, more so than ever, and they continue to be a wonderful community partner among many that we have here in Santa Clara, because we're in this together.
And that's what we're finding during the pandemic. All these community heroes are rising up.
Yes.
And really offering goods and services and help to those in need. And they're happy to do it.
Yes.
And we're so grateful to have these great partners in town. So the Salvation Army is most recognized by your red kettles. that first appeared with the bell ringer, I guess, in the Ferry Building in San Francisco in 1891.
Yes.
I saw my first one this year, just a few days ago, at the Lucky Store, where I shop on Prune Ridge and Saratoga Avenue. So
Okay.
tell us about the red kettles, and especially a question that I've had is, where does the money go that is donated? Because I'm telling you, I can't pass a red kettle without donating.
Thank you.
I just, throughout the years, I can't pass it up. So, and then tell us about how people can donate to the kettles as well.
Thank you. Here in Santa Clara, whatever is given to the Red Kettles in these 6 weeks of our campaign stays right here in Santa Clara. It is the resources that we need to help the people of the city all year long. But the public campaign with these iconic red kettles, it's just this short amount of time with this great amount of giving. But this year, it's very challenging because of the pandemic and safety and less people going out, as well as we have half as many locations which we are allowed to and can safely put the red kettles out, but the need is twice as great. Now you do the math on that and it doesn't add up. So we've come up with some real creative, safe ways that people can give to red kettles. If you go up to a red kettle, you can actually just put your phone up and you can pay with Google Pay or Apple Pay.
Well, that's really good to know.
Yep,
right?
nice and
Because
easy.
people aren't carrying cash as much as they were before.
Although, for some reason, at the Lucky that you speak of, our all-star bell ringer, Tom Sullivan, he is a Santa Clara resident. He is out there volunteering 10 hours a week, and he will tell you he does his very best. And if you say hello to him, he will tell you to have a good day. And you can't help but have a good day when you just have this brief, safe encounter with Tom.
Remember, everyone say hi to Tom.
Everyone say hi to Tom. That is actually our most successful kettle location.
Really?
It's amazing to think that $7,000 was given outside of that store last year. But we've had to get really creative. So we have Santa Clara Citadel Virtual Red Kettle. If you just type that in, it'll pull up how you can securely give by credit card. You can go to Amazon Alexa and just call out, donate to Salvation Army, and that instantly happens. We also have a text set up. So if you type in kettles, 91999, you can give that way. So we're
This
just
is modern kettle giving, isn't it?
modern kettle give. Well, less people carry less cash, and of course we know too. This year there's less people physically out.
Right.
Much of the, it's online or it's safe. So we had to come up with some really creative ways that you can still give to the red kettle.
Right. So that's really great to know. Under normal circumstances, there's a tremendous amount of need in our community around the holidays. This year, it's compounded, I don't know how many fold by this pandemic and the loss of resources, people's jobs for individuals and families. What are you doing to keep up with the increased demand? And is there capacity that for the additional help that's needed in the community in terms of food or some of your other services?
Since the pandemic began in the Greater Bay Area and specifically Silicon Valley, we have served over 400,000 individuals. We are seeing a 50% increase. We are continuing to grow all of our support programs. We do have capacity. Here in Santa Clara, I think I said earlier that we can serve twice as many people. The need is growing. But the resources are here. So we just need to all come together and do what we can do to well serve each other. So the Salvation Army is doing more and more every day. Usually when there's some type of disaster, it's a pretty quick event. This, as we all know, is just continuing. So we are being incredibly resourceful and flexible, and we're continuing to assess what the needs are in the community, and we're not going anywhere. Here in Silicon Valley for 130 years, we were already serving all of those who were in need, and now as there are more in need, we're just continuing to offer more services and more programs, and we're here to stay. And
wonderful. I think the need's going to be a little bit greater during this holiday season.
Yes.
Until we see the light at the end of the tunnel next year. especially with the number of cases that are increasing and what the governor's, new orders look like. So I think we need to be prepared, but it sounds like you're very prepared, and I know with the coordination of the city's efforts for food distribution, we can really be, work together to help the people in need. We don't want anyone going hungry, anyone in our community. So do we have any questions from Facebook? Let's see. I can't, okay. Larry Oliveira, keep up the good work. Mayor and Lieutenant, thank you very much. Larry, why did Governor Newsom implement a possible regional stay-at-home order? Well, I think it's based upon the numbers of the cases, how they're increasing, and worried about what's going to happen, the aftermath of the Thanksgiving holiday season in terms of the numbers and the hospital capacity in the ICUs. So we have to watch closely, and we as a city are watching very closely and taking all the steps necessary, and telling people to please wear your mask, social distance, stay home, do what you can to help us get through this, because we will get through this. We are going to get through this, and especially as a community with all the help from Salvation Army. So I'd like to show, have a video about how the Salvation Army is rescuing Christmas this year. I'm excited to see this video, Gina, so we can roll out.
You are not hidden. There's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless. Though you have been broken, your innocence stolen. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. Oh, I will rescue you.
Okay, your eyes are watering, so are mine. Oh, wow, that's pretty incredible, and it really shows the need, that's out there, and it really puts it together, and it shows us what we need to do. So, Lieutenant Noble, let's wipe our hair a little bit. Thank God we have these masks on.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for all the services that your organization provides for the community, and for the partnership with the City of Santa Clara and Second Harvest Food Bank and our Food for Families distribution operation every Wednesday. So what is the call to action that you would like to leave us with so that our community can continue to help each other through these tough times?
Thank you. Monetary donations to our Red Kettles, volunteering your time. Just go to Salvation Army Volunteer, put in your zip code. New unwrapped toys for children to rescue their Christmas.
New unwrapped toys, can they be dropped off right at
Yes.
the Homestead Road location?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
At any time?
10 to 4, Monday through Friday, please.
10 to 4, Monday through Friday. Unwrapped gifts for the
Yes.
children.
Toys for children, for our Angel Tree, for assistance for family in need.
Yeah.
But, monetary, that allows us to do the most good right here in Santa Clara.
Right.
And we're in this together.
Yes.
And you know what? We're here to help, and we're here to give hope. Everything's going to be better than okay.
Well, after talking to you from the minute I met you for the very first time, I felt hope, positivity. I've never met such a positive person in my life, in you. So I think you are the perfect person, you and your husband, to serve the community through the Salvation Army. And we are very, very fortunate to have you in the city of Santa Clara. So thank you so much for joining me today and taking the time to do this.
Thank you.
So everyone, join us on Facebook Live next Friday at noon with my special guest, Santa Clara University President, Father Kevin O'Brien, to talk about the impact the pandemic has had on higher education. Also, join me and fellow council members tonight virtually at 6 p.m. for the city's 110th annual holiday tree lighting ceremony. This year's honorary tree lighters are the Kaiser Permanente Santa Clara Intensive Care Unit teams. They have worked tirelessly over the past year responding to the COVID-19 pandemic to keep our community safe. We also have a special guest coming from the North Pole. So visit santaclaraca.gov/holiday2020 to watch the ceremony. As always, keep it covered, Santa Clara.